morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Randa, and today we are doing our WIP Chat. We are doing normal WIP Chat style. Look at this. Oh, thank the Lord. Okay. If you are not familiar, WIP Chat stands for Work in Progress and Chat. So get out whatever it is you plan on working on, or just listen along. I will be working on my diamond painting today. This is still the piece that I can't really show you or really tell you anything about. I mean, I guess you're kind of seeing it here, but it is an unlicensed piece from AliExpress, and it's something that I bought a really long time ago before I sort of transitioned to only buying licensed artwork. And yeah, so it's not something I want to like fully show on my channel. I don't know who the artist is. I don't know what the name of this piece is. I call it Girl with Koi Fish because, as you can see, there's a girl and you can see like the tail of a koi fish here. I'm pretty sure he starts to make his appearance. Oh my Lord, there we go, in this section. Yeah, I think he starts, yeah, you can see like his body starts to come to fruition right here in this section. I am adding ABs to him, which is really cool. So these are my ABs from Diamond Drills USA. They're just orange. And so I am basically doing a full color replacement, but only in the fish. So I'm taking one symbol and completely replacing it with ABs, but only in the fish. So there's one fish on this side and one fish on the other side, and they both are going to have ABs in it. So that is the kit. It is a 60 by 80 double-sided adhesive, as you can see. I am almost done, so I think I'm about 2 rows away after this. There's 2 more rows after that, which I am excited about because I am ready to start. I think next I'm going to do my Chuck Pinson. I don't know if I'll be like officially in the Chuck along or whatever because I don't really know how to. I haven't seen a lot of instructions on how to participate. But I still will be trying to use a hashtag and doing it along with it until my Drills and Chills kits shows up and that sort of thing. So I'm excited about that because I am ready to get back to my Diamond Art Club quality, that's for sure. I'm going to real quickly, while we're talking, put some new putty in my pen because it's getting a little dirty. Let's go Will Darty. Oh, guys, so this is because I did a drive-in chat instead of a whip-in chat last week. This is the first time you're seeing this, right? Look. Look, I have my Muni-Made trays back. Oh, my God, I was so excited. They showed up, like, a few days after I filmed my last, like, traditional whip-in chat. Oh, my God, I was so excited. So you will have seen it on my story, if you follow me on Instagram, that I have this blue one, the Sakura Pink, lavender, and then white. And, you know, I will be ordering more in the future, but 4 is a good amount for now. And then I'll order more later. And then I'm also using, this is the pen that I'm using today. It's just from Amazon. It's just a blue pen. I was using on this kit, because I specifically bought that pen with this kit in mind, I was using my pen from Jim's Handmade Pen Shop. It was a hybrid, so it had like a sort of dark wood on each end and then like black swirly in the middle. Oh my God. It was gorgeous. I am mourning its death because of my dog. My dog got to it and chewed it to smithereens, and I was pissed. I was so mad. Yeah, but rip that pen. Thankfully I did a while ago because I am part of the, what is it, the Facebook group, Jim's Handmade Pen Shop Facebook group, and they did a giveaway of a pen and I won. Yeah, so that should be coming one of these days. Like, I know he is so busy and I didn't pay for that pen, so like take as long as you need. But yeah, one of these days that will show up. And then I'll finally have another Jim's Handmade Pen Shop in my collection. But when that shop opens again, I can almost guarantee you I will be buying another pen. Just because I need that in my life. It's my favorite pen shop. I also, the cover minder that I was using for this, it lost its back magnet. I don't know where it is. I still need to find it. But it's like, I can just fold this back, so I don't really need a cover minder, but I still have my trash drill cover minder sitting here next to me, because otherwise I tend to throw trash drills on the floor, which like is such a bad habit. But that's what I do. So I need to make sure I have this sitting next to me so that I don't just toss them on the floor. And then I'm using my patty wax. It's okay. I think it snaps back on. Yeah. It's just a little, yeah, there we go. Okay, I fixed it. We're fine. I'm using my patty wax super sticky. This super sticky tin is going to last me for like 17 years. Because I use this really heavily, and like, look, I've barely made a dent in it. So that's going to last forever. So yeah, that's what we're working on today. If you can hear my candle sitting next to me, let me see if I can bring it over. This is my Woodwix Trilogy candle that I showed you guys in my drive-in chat. I'm about halfway through it. Good thing I already have another one that's sitting over there. That one's not a trilogy. It's just, I think, oh my God, what's it called? I think it's called Melon Blossom. Smells so good. And my boyfriend approves of the scent because it's a fruitier scent. So when this candle is done, I will burn that one. But I just love hearing the crackling. So if you can hear that crackling in the background, that is why. So I think for today's WIP Chat, I'm going to update you guys a little bit. Because I know my WIP Chat came out really late last week. So I'll explain a little bit about that. And then just update you on what's going on with life and things like that. And then I think we're going to do a tag, because I have some tag questions pulled up next to me on my computer. And I've been watching a lot of Stitcherista's like really old videos. Because I just am absolutely obsessed, and one video a day is apparently not enough for me. So, I'm like watching all of her old floss tube videos and stuff. And she's done many Stitch With Me's where she answers tag questions. And I was like, you know what? My channel is still fairly new. And I really enjoyed listening to her answers to the questions. And so I was like, maybe I should do some tag questions. So I went on the internet last night and found what I think is going to be some good ones. And if you guys if you end up liking the tag questions, then just let me know and I can absolutely continue doing that, because there are hundreds of options out there for tag questions. So I think that could be fun. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to chat for a little bit, and then we're going to do the tag questions. I feel like there was something else I was wanting to say. I have new nails on. Which I'm very excited about, but these are the really long ones. I don't know if I'm going to keep them this long, because I do like long nails, but these are almost just like a little bit too long for me to function. So I chop them down like a half a centimeter or a centimeter or whatever, and then they're more functionable for me, but they're also so pretty and I don't want to ruin them. You know what I mean? So let's start off with the buy me a coffee for the week. So 2 weeks in a row, or 3 weeks in a row, I think actually, this week Connie bought me another 5 coffees. Thank you, Connie. She's so sweet, such a sweet human being that has found her way onto my channel, and I'm so glad that she has, because she has just, she's just been so generous, and like, I can't. It makes me so happy. So she bought me 5 coffees, which if you don't know is equivalent to $25. And I forgot, I meant to write down the note before I started filming that she left with it so that I could read it to you. I didn't do that though. Let me see if I can remember what it said. It was something along the lines of like, this is because you were having a hard week and you had people on your couch and just a little pick me up. And, like, I know what you're going through and I know how you're feeling, like just a really sweet message. I'm going to try to go on and reply to, cause you can, when somebody buys you a coffee, you can like reply to their comment. I'm going to go on and try to reply to that so that she knows that, well, she'll probably see this video too. I appreciate you, Connie. It was really, really sweet. And it made me so happy. And it did brighten up my week. So I really do appreciate that. My Buy Me a Coffee link is down below if you are interested, but of course it is not obligatory. It's not obligated. It's just if you want to help out this little broke college student and her channel. Yeah, I'm a full-time college student and I own my own business. So sometimes finances are not my friend. So that's all, anything is always a big, big help. Anyway, that's in my campsite link down below. I hope I'm done with that color because I'm putting it away. I think I am, but you know what? I'll probably find one later that I missed. So this is Monday. Let's just get the timeline straight here because my WIP Chat was weird last week. So today is Monday. It is about 8:40 in the morning. What's new? I always film my WIP Chats first thing in the morning for some reason. I need a new color. Here we go. This one. Oh my God, I just lost my whole entire train of thought. It is Monday, 8:40 in the morning. I filmed my last WIP Chat, my drive-in chat, on last Tuesday. But it didn't go up until yesterday. And here's what happened with that. Because usually, again, I was completely out of my routine. If you didn't watch my last drive-in chat and want a little, I'll try to fill in a little bit, but if you want a little bit more information about why last week was so stupid for me, go ahead and watch that video because I do explain a little bit about why last week was so hard for me. But we're getting better. It's getting better, slowly but surely. Again, I lost my train of thought. I cannot, oh my God, this is why I've thought about doing like a stitch in chat, stitch with me. And no, I can't do that because it requires way too much attention for me to be able to think about it and talk at the same time. I can't even really diamond paint and talk at the same time. Anyway, so yeah, I filmed that on Tuesday, and then usually with my normal routine, I film WIP Chats Monday morning, just like I'm doing right now, and then I post them on Tuesday, usually. Yeah, that was not the case. I didn't film until Tuesday because there were always people in my house. My boyfriend's brother, and then my boyfriend's friend, who both live back in Chicago, where Perry is originally from, they came out to visit, and they came to stay with us for the whole week. So, they were in my house all the time, all week, and so there wasn't really a time for me to, like, sit down and film, because they were always here. And if they weren't here, I was at school, or I was doing shop stuff, or whatever. Like, I just didn't have time. And so when I did find the time was when I was driving to school on Tuesday, and I decided to just do a drive-in chat. And then I was going to post it the next day. So I edited it on Wednesday, and I try to go to post it on Wednesday. And I guess to understand this, you kind of need to be familiar. So I use Premiere Pro for editing. It's an Adobe software. And I use it for school, and so it's what I'm most familiar with. It's my favorite software. I used to use a cheaper one before I started school. It's called Movavi. It's like $20 to just buy the full thing. Adobe is not that cheap, but I need it for school, so Adobe's like, what, $50 a month or something? So I use Premiere Pro. It's a, like, if you're not familiar with it, it is like a industry standard in terms of video editing. So it is a high quality editing software, except for when it decides to not work. So I had completely edited my video. It was all ready to go. I said, okay, I'm going to export it. Because if you're not familiar with editing, in order to get it out of the software and into like an MP4 file, like into a file on your computer that you can upload to YouTube, you have to export your video. At least you do with most editing softwares. And so I was like, great, let's export. because Premiere Pro is so advanced, it usually takes a few hours to export anyway. So I usually just like hit export and then let it sit for a long ass time. But I would hit export, the export button, and nothing would happen. I would sit and wait, because what happens is when you hit the export button, a little screen pops up with a bunch of options in terms of like how you want the video rendered, how you want it exported, what parts of the video you want exported. There's a whole bunch of options. And usually a little screen pops up so that you can select those options, and then you hit export from there to officially start the export process. But when I would click on the button to have that little window pop up, nothing would happen. And I was like, what the hell? And so I just like clicked on it a bunch of times and nothing happened. I tried like saving my work and then exiting out of the software and then coming back in and trying again. That didn't work. So I updated it. I updated the app, the application, the software. That didn't work. And then once I updated it, it said that I needed like a new driver. And so I was like, oh, okay, great. I downloaded the new driver for it. That didn't work. I was like, what the hell is going on? And so I tried like Googling, like, why won't it export? And that didn't really help. And so I was like, what do I do? And so it got to the point where I was working on this for days. So I tried all day Wednesday, and then I tried again on Thursday, and that didn't work. I left Thursday night for a girls' weekend. So my mom, my aunt, and my cousins. Yes. My sister was supposed to come, but she didn't end up being able to come. So it was just my mom, my aunt, and my cousins. And we went up to a cabin in the mountains for a girls' weekend. And we left on Thursday night. And so I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to wait to export this video when I get back. So I got back because I ended up coming home early, and I'll tell that story in a minute. But when I came back on Saturday, I was like, all right, I guess let me try to export it one more time, and it worked. So I don't know if the driver or the update just like needed time to like fully set itself in, because I tried restarting my computer. I tried everything. It didn't work. So I wonder if the driver maybe just needed some time to fully work or something stupid like that. But it was days before I was able to export my video. And then once I export it, then you have to upload it to YouTube, which takes another few hours. But I was able to, which is why I don't post in the same day, because it takes literal hours. Plus I have to get it from my phone to my computer, which also takes literal hours. You wouldn't think it would be that hard, but it is. Because my boyfriend is always like, just plug your phone into your computer and it'll show up. Like, no, I've tried that. No, it doesn't. Not stuff that I like just filmed that day. The stuff that I have on my phone from like the day before, that will show up, but nothing that like I just recorded. Especially because all my videos are super long. I think it takes a minute to, I don't know. But either way, so it takes forever, which is why I don't post in the same day, because it takes literal hours. But I did manage to get that up finally. So it is a wonderful software until it decides to stop working. Because there's all sorts of wonderful settings you can do, and a ton of like transitions and a ton of like all sorts, and you can there's like really detailed color correcting, and I color correct all of my videos. I was thinking about it because when I did my live with Bev, she was talking about like how good quality my videos were, and which, I mean, I don't think they're that high of quality, but she seemed to think so. And I was trying to think why mine were so much more, why she thought mine were more high quality, because I film with a ring light and my cell phone. Like, I'm not doing anything fancy. And then I thought about it and I was like, maybe it's because the color correcting makes it look a little better than just straight up like filmed on your phone. You can enhance the colors and enhance the brightness and enhance all those sorts of things. So I went, oh, maybe that's why. So anyway, I was just thinking about that. But yeah, it's a really, really wonderful software. If you're really into editing, I highly recommend, because I love it as a, you know, more professional video editor. I really love it. But because if you didn't know, my major in school is video production. I am in college and my major is video production. And so editing, it's video production with an emphasis in editing. So my specialty is editing. So for an editor, I love it. But if you're just doing like more like, I don't know, this more amateur video editing, if you know what I mean, like if you're not super serious about it, Movavi is a wonderful editor as well that I introduced, because my boyfriend likes to make YouTube videos as well, and so I introduced Movavi to him. Again, it's like $20, and it's a really wonderful system. So so he uses that and he loves it. It's not as advanced as Premiere Pro, obviously, but you can still do a little bit of color correction, and you can still, like, everything that you would ever need, you can still do on there. So yeah, if you're looking for a video editor, Movavi, Movavi, yeah, it's a good system. Anyway, so I managed to get that up, thank God, but this WIP Chat does feel a little bit back to back just because I just uploaded it on Saturday and now it's Monday. But they're not filmed back to back, so I still have some things to fill you guys in on. So when I was going to, I'll just sort of go over my week, okay, from Tuesday until now. So last time you talked to me, my drive-in chat, I was on my way to my first class. I need more of this color. What color is this? Hold on. Now I have to think. Hold on. I'll get back to the story in a minute. I think this is 823. Yeah, 823. Okay. Because I do not have enough drills for this. Let me pull out my bag of drills. 823. Yep, here we go. Icky dicky. So I was on my way to my very first class. Like I said, I'm a college student. So this is my second to last semester of college before I graduate. So I have 1 year left. And, I'm so excited. But this was the first day of my last year. So not my last semester, but my last year. So I'll do this fall semester and then spring semester. And then I'll graduate in May. Which is so exciting. But anyway, it was my first day. I'm taking 4 classes this semester, which means I am a full-time student. This is the first time I have been a full-time student since my very first semester of college. So it's a lot for me to take on top of the fact that I am still running my Etsy shop. I'm still running my business. So it's like quite overwhelming, honestly, because this is the most that I've done in a long time because of my mental health. I haven't been able to. And now I'm finally at the point where I'm able to, after like, I don't know, 3 years in the making of testing out different medications and going to therapy and all sorts of crazy stuff to figure out what in the world is going on with me. And we're not done yet by any means. I think my psychiatrist, my therapist actually last week was suggesting that I go for a neuropsych exam because I've been sort of misdiagnosed a few times. That she's like, I want a really concrete answer of a diagnosis, just so that she's like, it's just for like treatment purposes, that it's like just so that we know exactly how to go about this. And that we're not continuing to misdiagnose you, because my brain is very confusing. She was like, I think it would be helpful to do a neuropsych exam so that we can be very clear about your diagnosis. I said, that sounds like a great idea. So, because I'm tired of being misdiagnosed too. But anyway, that's not the point. The point, I'm all over the place today. The point is that, I'm finally at a place after, I think, 3 years where I can be like a functioning human being again. So it's a little scary for me. This semester is a little scary for me just because I don't know. This is new for me. I don't know what my limits are. I don't technically know how much I can handle. Like, I have a good guess, but until I really I hit my breaking point this week. So I think this week was me learning my limit, which is good. Because with my new medication, I started a new antidepressant, which is why I now have the energy to be a functioning human being again. But with this new medication, it's new, and so I don't really know exactly all the ins and outs of my energy level yet. Again, I have a good guess, but I'm still learning, because for the past 3 years, I've had an energy level of close to 0, and most days haven't been able to get out of bed, and haven't been able to hold a job, and haven't been able to, really do school, and can only do like one thing at a time. And now I feel like I'm doing 1,000 things at a time. Maybe not that dramatic, but I'm doing a lot more than I've ever done. So it's a little scary just because it's new. It's new, and I don't want to fail. You know what I mean? It's a fear of failure. Because I have had to drop out of college once before it was either a semester or a year. I think it was just a semester. But, and I don't want to do that again. And I don't want to fail any classes, and I don't want to extend my graduation date. And like, I know it's going to be fine, like logically, but my heart is still scared. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit scary for me, but I think I'm going to be fine. I have all not all the confidence in the world, but I have all the logic in the world in my head going, you're going to be fine. You can handle so much more than you used to be able to handle. So you're going to be fine. And you have a support system to help you if you need it. And you have a plan for if you need it. This drill will not stick. Oh, because there's putty. That would be why. Because there's putty in the way. There we go. So this was my first week. And it was also the week that I had 2 grown-ass men sleeping on my couch, and it fucked everything up. To be completely honest with you, that like, I talked about this last week. I am an insane creature of habit, and I am very set in my routine and stability and whatever. And when I can handle change okay, but I really don't like it. Really don't like it. That it makes me feel anxious and uncomfortable and all of those fun things. And so it was not only a week of change, but it was throwing my whole life out of whack. And then I'm also a extreme introvert. And so it didn't allow me any alone time. So it also screwed that up. So I had multiple things going for me last week that were just not helpful at all. So I went to school on Tuesday. I was very flustered. It turned out to be my only in-person class. I thought I had one more, but they have a Zoom option that I wasn't aware of. So I'm just going to take advantage of that and just Zoom from home because it's a class where I don't really need to be there. So I'm just going to do it that way. And so it's my only in-person class. And so I went in person on Tuesday. It's called typography, not cartography, Bev. But it's just like history of type, and then like exactly, it teaches you in terms of video editing, it teaches you like what fonts to use to make it look good and how to like space your letters apart and all these things to make it look really good and to, look appealing and draw your eye to the right places and all those fun stuff. So that's what I'm doing for that class. And the teacher pissed me off on the first day. On the very first day, she already pissed me off. She was fine for the most part. Like, it's a very small class. All of my classes at this point are very small because they're more advanced classes. And my department is really small. And so, we had, I think, 6 people in the class, maybe 5 or 6 people, which is a good size class for my major. Like, that's a pretty decent sized class. I was in a videography 2 was last semester. There were 2 of us, me and one other guy, which made for a really awesome and interactive class, but it was also like, holy shit, there's only 2 of us. And they still kept the class because they knew we needed it to graduate, and so they just, that's what's awesome about a small school is they go, oh, we know that you need this to graduate, so we're going to keep this class around pretty much just for you, which was awesome. But anyway, I keep getting off topic. It's fine. I cannot function with these nails. Drill. There we go. But yeah, so it was a really small class, which is always nice. I do like smaller class sizes, so it worked really well for me. For the first half of the class, and I tried to like sit at the front of the class to help me in everything. For the first, it's a 4-hour-long class because we only meet once a week. But, so it was, what was it? It was 12:30 to 4:30. Wait, is that 3 hours? 12:30, 1:30, 1:30 to 2:30, 2:30, 3:30, 3:30 to 4:30. No, 4. Okay. Did you like my math? I had to do math. So it's a 4-hour class because we only meet once a week. But usually, at least with my experience with these kinds of classes in the past, because these are the only kinds of classes I take, or that I have taken, because A, that's really all they offer at Red Rocks, and B, because that's the school I go to, is Red Rocks Community College. That's really all the classes they offer, A, and B, then you only have to meet once a week. And because I live 45 minutes away from campus, yeah, it is that I'm not down for going more than, 2 or maybe 3 times a week, but that's really pushing it. So it's a 4-hour class. Usually, with my experience with these classes, they do not keep you any longer than like 2 or 3 hours. That they never keep you for the full 4 hours. She did. In fact, every teacher this semester did, which is annoying as shit. So, so they kept me for the full 4 hours. And so for the first 2 hours, she lectured. We had a whole slideshow on the history of type. Listen, I am pretty severely ADHD as far as we're concerned. I'll let you know when when I do that neuropsych exam, if I really am, I guess, but because all of my diagnosis, I say they're pretty up in the air. I've been officially diagnosed with, officially diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and ADHD. As far as we're concerned, that is what I have. So, we'll see. Because I was at one point diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I was very confident that I had bipolar disorder, and that turns out to not be true. So, I am open to the idea that all of my diagnoses could be wrong, and it could be something else. But anyway, I have pretty severe ADHD as far as I'm concerned. So, I have the hardest time when it comes to paying attention during lectures. Oh boy. So I was sitting in class just like absolutely dying because I was trying so hard to pay attention and I just couldn't. I just couldn't sit and listen to what she was saying. Not because she was boring me to tears, because I just physically couldn't do it. That like my brain, I was getting antsy and my brain couldn't handle trying to pay attention to her without doing something. So I bought a planner during class because I needed a planner. Like I looked at my other classes online. I played with my hair for a little bit. Like, I needed something. So I'm trying to figure out something I can do. It's like, maybe I need to bring my cross stitch into class. Maybe I need to, I don't know, do something. My therapist talked about, like, I should try doodling in class. So maybe that's what I'll try to do tomorrow. Yeah, because tomorrow's Tuesday. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow. Like, I need to try different things because my ADHD is worse than ever. So I've always had trouble paying attention in school. I'm pretty sure it's worse right now than it's ever been. So I am struggling a lot when she decides to go lecture. Because with the other ones, it's a Zoom class. I can turn my camera off and sit here and cross stitch in my house and then listen to them talk. That I can handle because if I'm doing something with my hands, I can pay attention so much better. So it's like, so when I'm at home, when I'm doing a Zoom class, that's fine. But in person, when you start fiddling, it looks like you're bored. And I don't want it to look like I'm bored. So I think at some point I need to talk to her and be like, yo, I have ADHD. You're going to see me fiddle in your class in some way, shape, or form. Just know that doesn't mean that I'm not listening to you. It actually means the exact opposite. You know, like if you see me not fiddling, that means I'm not listening. Like, you know, so yeah, I'm going to have to try stuff out with that. But she lectured for the first 2 hours and I almost died. And then when she was finally done lecturing, I was like, thank Lord. Oh my God, I can't handle that any longer. Then she was like, okay, we're going to do arts and crafts. I said, okay. Like, I'm a crafty girl. Like, okay, I can get behind that. What are we doing? She said, we're going to go back to kindergarten. Okay, what are we doing? She had us do basically, she called it a torn paper collage. It's a magazine collage where you take you like rip out little pieces from a magazine and you glue them together on a piece of paper in a collage. You basically like paper mache it with Mod Podge onto the paper. We're all crafty here. I think we're familiar with this concept. And so that's what we did. But she was, you know, it was typography. And so it was like, you know, type needs to kind of be your main focus, which was fine. So she had us like, because apparently she thinks it's art school. She had us like draw out an idea and get it approved from her and then go and do it, whatever. Everybody else was kind of spread out across the room and like only taking one magazine at a time and being really slow. Yeah, no. I parked myself right at the table where all the magazines and stuff were and flipped through every single one of them. I was like, I don't know what y'all are doing. Y'all need to come sit over here. Like, no. That's going to take you forever if you have to keep getting up and coming and getting another magazine and blah, 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 blah. No, right here is where you need to be. So I parked myself right there and I started going. I had this idea in my head and I started looking for stuff and I was bam, ripping stuff out of the newspaper. And then once I had ripped everything out where I thought I had enough stuff, it followed my color concept and the whole thing. Because I was doing like really light yellow and really light pink, my favorite colors. Sorry, there's hair all over this. So once I felt like I had ripped out enough, I started gluing it down. And I was looking around. Nobody else was gluing. Everybody else was still just sort of flipping through magazines. It's like, y'all are so slow. Oh my God. And so I was like pretty much done like a half an hour before class was over. And so I was like, okay, I'll just sort of like hang out because I'm done. And everybody else is still flipping through magazines. Nobody had started gluing and I was done. Yeah, okay. But anyway, the teacher, this is where she pissed me off. My teacher comes over and she looks at my thing and she goes, oh. And I went, do you like it? And she was like, yeah. like, okay. And then she was like, where, what? I was like, what? She was like, she's like, what's your idea? What's your concept of where my eye is supposed to go on the paper? I almost looked at her like she was crazy. I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Is this art school? Like, I get we're in a creative field. I get that. But, yeah, my degree is not in paper macheing magazines. So, please stop critiquing my crafts, my arts and crafts. Like, I'm just having fun with it. But anyway, I sort of gave her the idea of what sort of my plan was for where her eyes should go. And she went, It's like, oh my God, what? And she was like, can you make that more? Okay. And so I added a little more, I guess. Started adding things. She came over and she went, I was like, woman, oh my God, how much are you going to critique my little art and craft? Like, this is supposed to be, like, just, I didn't know you were taking this so seriously. No, she was taking it very seriously, okay? I just apparently was not aware of this concept. Either that or she was just kind of picking on me because I was the only one done. I'm not 100% sure because everybody else was just, like, working at the rate of snails. Oh my God, it was so annoying. I mean, it's, like, sucks for them because they had to do it at home and I finished in class, but still, I was like, guys, oh my God, don't you want to be done? Like, holy shit. Either they were taking it more seriously like she was or something, but she came over again after I had added stuff to it and she still didn't like it. So I had to fix it again. Oh my God, I was so sick of her. And then she came over for the third time and it was like a few minutes before class was over. And so then she was satisfied. It's like, okay. It looked fine the first time to me, so okay. But then she was like, okay, take it home and they're due next week and whatever. And I walked up to her and I said, can I just turn this in now? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. Took it from me. I said, okay, bye. Oh my God. I was like, this is arts and crafts. Like, what do you mean your eye doesn't get led to the right place? This is not art school. We are not in art school, okay? I don't need your opinion on my arts and crafts. I just don't. So yeah, she pissed me off. I was like, are you picking on me because I'm the only one done? Like, how rude. I was just like, woman, just let me arts and crafts over here, okay? Without your judgment. And you're, yeah, I don't need that shit. No, get it out of here. I don't want it. So anyway, she pissed me off on the first day, but it was still a good class. I hope it's going to be useful. I'm not sure though. I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be one of those, like, it's just an elective that I have to get out of the way in order to get my degree. It's just a means to an end. But it was still, it was pretty good. And then on Wednesday I went to therapy. I already told you about that. I drove all the way down there. Cause like I said, it's like 45 minutes away, 45 minutes to an hour away. So I drove all the way down there. She talked about the neuropsych exam. I think she's going to try to get me a referral to that because I'm on Medicaid because I make so little money. So that my Medicaid, she's going to write me a referral so that my Medicaid will cover it because otherwise it's like at least $1,500, I think, for the neuropsych exam. Yeah, I ain't about that. So I think she's going to try to get me a referral so it'll cover it. But that should be interesting whenever that happens. And then on Thursday, I had 2 classes. Now, when I was listening to lecture on Tuesday, and I was looking at all my other classes to see if there was anything that I needed to know because I was trying so desperately to pay attention, I saw on one of my Thursday classes, my Thursday class in the afternoon, which is Photoshop 2. I've already taken Photoshop 1, so this is Photoshop 2. It listed 2 different teachers. And it listed that instead of it being what my understanding was, that it was an in-person class on Thursdays at 12:30 to 4:30, just like my Tuesday class. On there, it said it was at Mondays at 5 p.m. and there was a Zoom link. I was like, wait, what? When is my class? So I emailed when I registered for the class, it gave me the name of a teacher, and I already knew that teacher. I had taken a class with her before. Where did that symbol go? I just saw it. Where did it go? Because I'm going to put this back, and then I'm going to see it again, and I'm going to be mad. There it is. I knew that teacher because she was my video editing 1 teacher. And so I sent her an email and I was like, is it Monday? Is it Thursday? Is it online? Is it in person? Like, I don't know what's going on. And she never answered. And so Wednesday night I went, well, I don't really know what to do. So I checked again late Wednesday night. And it had now said it was in person at 12:30 on Thursdays. I said, okay, that's what I thought. And it listed this other male teacher, but it still had the Zoom link underneath it. And I was like, oh, you know what? Because my morning class is a Zoom class, and it ends at 11:45. And then I can't think. Yeah, it ends at 11:45. My next one starts at 12:30. That only gives me 45 minutes to get to school. That's like the minimum amount of time it takes me to get to school. So it would have been like extremely close for me to make it in time. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just try to join with the Zoom link today. Which granted might not have been my smartest decision. But I was at the end of a holy hell type of week. I didn't want to go to school again because that would have been my 3rd day in a row of driving over 45 minutes to somewhere, which I didn't want to continue doing. And so I went, let me just try. And it worked. I logged right into class. And I was under the impression this was an in-person class. I was talking to the teacher. And he said, it is. So everybody else is here. I was the only one over Zoom. But he was like, we're doing a Zoom option. I said, perfect. Because I live far as hell from school. And he said, like, I would prefer to have you in class, so blah, blah, blah. But I was like, yeah, no. Shut it. Like, I'm doing it this way, sorry. Because no. You know what? I've got enough going on in my life. Nope, I'm doing it this way. If you give me the Zoom option, I'm going to use it. Don't give me the Zoom option and then tell me to not use it. Because I will. So that was really nice. So I have my early class on Thursday is called Business for Creatives. It's a class that you could take instead of like a capstone or an internship. But I needed an extra elective and I kind of wanted to take that class anyway. And so I asked my director, I was like, can I just take that instead? Like as an elective? And he was like, that sounds like a great idea. And he teaches that class. So it's taught by the director of my program. Oh my God, it stressed me out so much because he was talking about this is what you don't want to hear from a teacher on your first day, okay? Is this class is going to be hard. I went, oh, great. Thanks. Lovely to hear that on the first day. He said, this class is going to be hard, but you should be fine. Oh, okay. Fine. Great. Awesome. And I can't just try to half-ass my way through it because it's the director of the program. Like, I can't just half-ass my way through it. No. And he was talking about all these things that we needed to do and how we needed to narrow down our business plan when we don't even have businesses and we need to... I was like, holy shit. Because I took this class for like, you know, maybe I will freelance video edit someday, or maybe I will start my own video editing business because I'm really liking having my own Etsy business, and maybe options, right? Yeah, and he's stressing me out instead. So, and then on top of just stressing me out by just talking, he also gave us, it was the first day of class, let me think, he gave us 6 homework assignments that were due next week. On the first day. Yeah, I was not, I spent my whole Photoshop class, the class that I have after that, I spent that whole class doing homework for Business for Creatives because I came out of that class stressed on the very first day. I was like, his name is Paul, the director of my program. I was like, Paul, what are you doing to me? Why are you doing this to me? So yeah, I was pissed. I was frustrated. So, but I did get most of it done. I still have a little bit to do that I need to do this week before class on Thursday, but I got most of it done, which was good. So yeah, first week of school was pretty good, but 2 out of my 3 because my 4th one doesn't start till this week. 2 out of the 3 teachers pissed me off in the first day. So, so that was fun. But yeah, and then I went on Thursday up to girls' weekend, and the plan was that I was going to leave like midday Saturday and come home, so stay Thursday night, Friday night, and leave midday Saturday. I got into bed Friday night, and I called Perry, and I just felt this like overwhelming anxiety and this overwhelming desire to come home. And I think what happened was that I just sort of met my breaking point, was that I had gotten to the point that it was the end of the week and I couldn't do it anymore. And so I told, I was on the phone while all of this was happening, and so I was telling Perry what I was feeling and what was happening, and he was like, well, if you want to come home, like, that's your decision, you can come home. Even though it was like 10 o'clock at night. And I went, you know what, let me talk to my mom real quick, and I'll call you back and see if I can come home, because I don't think I can do this anymore. And so I called, my mom knew I was like running on low, like running on empty. And so I called her, like literally on her phone, and said, can you come downstairs for a second? Because my bedroom was downstairs. And she came downstairs, and I was like, I just burst out crying. And I was like, I think I've hit it. I think I've hit my breaking point. I need to go home. And she was like, oh my God. She was like, are you, her first thing was like, okay, but it would be safer to wait till morning because it is, very late at night. So are you sure you don't want to wait till morning? You can leave first thing in the morning and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, no, I need to go now. And she said, okay, whatever you need to do. I understand. Just please be really careful and whatever. I was like, yeah, I will. So she went upstairs and told everybody what was going on, so that I didn't, and, was like, and explained why I couldn't come up and say goodbye, because I was already, like, at my breaking point, like, crying. I calmed myself down, and my mom grabbed all my stuff, because I brought my cross-stitch stuff with me, and it was all upstairs, and so she grabbed all my cross-stitch stuff for me, and she said, like, okay, please drive safe, like, I'll see you on Sunday, because one of my cousins that was there, she's having a baby, and her baby shower was on Sunday. And so I was like, yeah, I'll see you guys on Sunday, but I need to go home. And my mom was like, I get it, fair enough. You've had a really rough week, so fair enough. So I went home. I drove home. I called my boyfriend and said, baby, I'm coming home. And he was so excited. And And I was too. I was so ready to be home and in my own bed. And the boys had left back to Chicago that morning. So they were already gone because they ended up leaving early. They weren't supposed to leave until Sunday, but they left early, which was fine with me. And so I drove home at 10:30 at night. And I didn't get home until like 11 or 11:30. And I was so happy to see Ollie and to see Ash and to see Perry. And Perry's friend Mario is actually taking one of the kittens home that live at Perry's work. And so Perry had brought home one of the kittens that night. They're like 5 weeks old, so small, so cute. So that little girl stayed in our house that night, which was really fun to see her there. Ollie freaking hated her, but like, it's fine. He was like hissing at her. I was like, Ollie! He just didn't understand, I don't think. He was like, who the hell is this bitch in my house on my cat tree? I don't like it. But I was like, we're not replacing you, bud. She's just staying here for the night. No, he was pissed. But it was so good to be in my own bed and, you know, to be with Perry by ourselves again because the two guys were here all week. I barely got to see, you know, really spend any quality time with my boyfriend because we always had other people around. And so it was just good. It was really the right decision for me to go home that night. It really was. And then all Saturday, we spent all day Saturday together. We're flying out to Chicago next weekend because, like, his cousin is getting married, I think. So we're flying out to Chicago next weekend, and he doesn't have any dress clothes. So we went and bought him some dress clothes, and I needed some more floss for my project because I had, you know, run out of certain floss colors. And so we went to Michael's and got more floss. And then I took us out on a date night that night because I was like, we usually do Friday night date night. And since I didn't get, you know, home until 11:30 on Friday night, we obviously didn't have date night. So I was like, I'm taking us out on a date night. And we went to Olive Garden and we had a nice dinner. And it just felt like I was coming back into my routine, which was so good. So good. And already this morning, I'm feeling stressed because I have a lot to do today. I've got shop restock and I have school to worry about and all sorts of things. But I feel in my routine again. I'm here by myself. Perry's at work. I'm filming WIP Chats at my normal time. Like, I feel a little more in my routine and in my element. And it feels so good. I still haven't 100% recovered from last week. I wish I had a few days off to like recover, but that's just not how life works. So yeah, but I feel so much better. So anyway, we're already at 58 minutes. I want to at least answer a few tag questions before we end this because I said that I would. This leads us into today. So that's my story for the week. It's been crazy. But I feel a lot better being back in my normal routine. Thank the Lord. I'm telling my therapist, it's like, I don't want to get stuck in this routine. But at the same time, it just feels so much better when I'm in my routine. So, I don't know. I think that's something that we need to work on because I definitely don't want to get stuck in needing a routine. But because I have ADHD and my brain is so chaotic, my routine is my non-chaotic spot. So we'll see. We'll work on that. Because it's not the greatest, but it'll be fine. So anyway, let's answer a few of these tag questions real quick. We're going to go a little over an hour, but it'll be fine. Let's see. This is a getting to know me tag questions list. It's 25 get to know me questions. If I don't talk too much on all of them, maybe I'll do all of them. We'll see. Number one is, are you named after anyone? Yes. So my legal name is Miranda, but I have been called Randa since the day I was born. That was what their intention of naming me was. I don't know why They said it was to give me options, which I guess makes sense, but they put Miranda on my birth certificate. So legally, even though that was not their intention of being my name at all, but legally my name is Miranda. I've never gone by that though. It's always been Randa. Except for when people like physically can't pronounce it, which is so weird. But anyway, I was named Randa because my dad in high school had a friend, okay? I put that in big fat air quotes because he had a big fat crush on this girl. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can even see like fucking 30, 40 years later, he still gets like hearts in his eyes when he talks about her. He had a big fat crush on this girl, okay? And her name was Randa. So he told my mom that he thought that was a really cool name and that he wanted to name me that. So I was named. Granted, I told my mom a couple years ago, I was like, you do realize that this was Dad's high school crush, that I was named after Dad's high school crush. And she went, no, I didn't know that. Like, of course you didn't know that, or you wouldn't have named me that. But I am almost positive, just from the stories he's told me about her, he has hinted at the fact that he wished that he could have dated her, and he wished that he had asked her out, and, you know, he talks about her with just stars in his eyes. Like, yeah, he really had a crush on her. So I was named after my dad's high school crush, which is so weird. It's awful. Oh my God. So that's who I was named after. When was the last time you cried? Saturday. I told you that story. When I was talking to my mom, I burst out crying. Do you have kids? If no, how many do you want? I do not have any kids, like real human kids. I have furry children. I do still consider them my children, even though they are just pets to most people. They are my children. Perry and I are mom and dad, and they are our children. So I have a 1 year, just barely over 1 year old Australian Shepherd puppy. Her name is Ash. She is a crazy kid. And then I have a 4-month-old short-haired domestic cat. He was a wild cat. Now he's a domestic cat. And his name is Ollie. And he's 4 months old. They're actually both, so he's about to be 5 months old and she's about to be 1 year and 3 months. So those are my children. You have seen Ollie on here before. He is referred to as my furry assistant. I'm actually going to, we'll see if I remember. If I remember, I'll put up pictures of them on the screen here so you can really see them. Because you've never seen Ash, but you have seen glimpses of Ollie. I refer to him as my furry assistant. Those are my children. But no, I don't have actual kids. So how many do you want? That is a very hard question for me because I am not 100% sure that I want kids. I haven't wanted kids since I was about 15 or 16. And I'm 21 now and still don't want kids. So, and my boyfriend is fully aware of this, that as of right this minute, I do not ever want kids. Especially not right now, but ever. And he has a hard time with that because he does really want kids. But he also, I told him, I was like, look, if kids are something that you just cannot live without, then we need to have a serious conversation because I am not going to spend years and years together and get attached and get married and get whatever if we end up breaking up because I don't want kids and you do. I was like, that is not a situation that I am going to put myself in. So if having kids is something that is non-negotiable for you, we need to have a serious talk right now. And he thought about it for a minute and he was like, I really want kids, but he was like, it's not something that I have to have. And so he was like, if we ended up not having kids, it would be okay. But I do really want them. I said, that's fair. That is fair enough. Just know that being with me might result in not having children. And you need to be okay with that. And he said, okay. So he is fully aware of the fact that I don't want kids. But at the same time, I am completely open to the idea that my mind might change someday. That when I'm 30, I might, or 29 or something, I might really crave that and really be ready for that and really want that. My biggest thing about not wanting kids is that I am naturally just not a person with a lot of energy. I'm a very low energy person, and my depression does not help that. So I sometimes don't even have the wherewithal to really, like, I do take care of my animals well, but sometimes I don't have the energy to really, because, like, really I should be taking Ash on walks and I should be doing all these things, and I don't do any of that. I take her to the park once a week. She needs more than that, and I don't have the energy to give that to her. And so it's like I don't, and when they piss me off, you can put a dog in a crate for an hour when they're pissing you off. You can't put a kid in a crate for an hour when they're pissing you off. That's where Ash is right now. She's in her crate, and Ollie is in the bathroom because Ollie needed all the attention in the world this morning, and I needed to film a video. Like, I just, I'm not sure I have the energy that I would want to take care of a child. If I'm gonna have a kid, I want to be hands-on and in it and whatever, and I don't think I could. Again, that could change. That's why I'm keeping my options open. But also, because I have so many mental health problems, I have a hard time imagining knowingly passing them on to my children. It's something that I struggle with a lot because depression is something I struggle with a lot, and anxiety is something I struggle with a lot, and ADHD is something that I struggle with a lot. And the idea of knowingly putting my children through that, no. Because even though I don't want kids, when I think of the idea of my own children, I am so deeply, deeply attached to them. And so the idea of taking these, like, imaginary children or whatever that I don't even know and giving them my mental health problems, like, knowingly giving them that, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. So that is why I say, like, I am open. I swear to God, I just saw this symbol that I missed and now I lost it again. I'm open to the idea of my mind changing. And I hope my mind changes someday because I do want I want to want kids. But I'm also like, if you don't ever want kids, that's okay. It's fine. Some people don't ever want kids and some people don't ever have kids. I also think there is a large chance that there's a decently large chance that I have endometriosis. If you don't know what that is, it basically is like a buildup of scar tissue in your fallopian tubes that makes it really difficult to have children. And it's also can be extremely painful and usually results in a hysterectomy, which is where they remove your uterus. Therefore, you cannot have children. My mom had endometriosis. I am like the definition of a miracle baby because she had like a 1 in a million chance of getting pregnant, and the fact that she did was crazy. She tried to get pregnant for 8 years before she did, hence why my sister was adopted, because she was certain she wasn't going to be able to have children, and then she got pregnant with me. She had a extremely difficult pregnancy because of the endometriosis and almost miscarried multiple times. So it's like, I am like the definition of a miracle child, okay? And so getting pregnant with endometriosis is extremely difficult. And my mom has endometriosis and my cousin has endometriosis. So it runs in my family. We're not 100% sure that endometriosis is genetic, but I'm already starting to have, even at 21, I'm starting to have endometriosis symptoms. Not super bad, but small endometriosis symptoms. So there's a chance that I will never be able to have children, which I have always said I would rather, then at that point I have mixed feelings about it, because part of me goes, well, then at that point I'm glad it's me, because I would rather, just in the interest of having a fair universe, which doesn't exist, but in the interest of that, I would rather somebody who doesn't want kids, aka me, to be the one who can't have kids. But at the same time, it's really sad to think that I might not have that option. And you can always adopt, you can always, find a way to have children. But there's something different about having children of your own, that are your DNA. They're a mixture of you and the person you love the most. Like, there's something different about that. And yeah, so the idea of not having the option to change my mind is a little scary. And it's very scary to my boyfriend, who knows he really wants kids. So yeah, it's like, I hope that this is a coincidence, and I hope that I don't, or I hope that I have a lesser version of it that makes it easier, or I hope a million things, but there's a possibility that that I'm not able to have kids. So it's like, there's many things that go into that argument, even at the ripe age of 21. So we will see. But as of right now, it is not a problem, because as of right now, I don't ever want children. So it's fine. That was a long-winded answer. Let's move on to the next question. If you were another person, would you be a friend of yourself? Oh my God, that is such an interesting question, because I think so, but I am a very acquired taste. I have one of those personalities where you either love me or you hate me, and there's not really an in-between. So I guess it would depend on if I was another person, like what is my personality? Am I somebody that meshes with me? That would be the answer. That would be the thing, because I am a very acquired taste, and I know that. So, I don't know. I also, at the same time, have been, described as, very easy to get along with. So it kind of goes back and forth. But, so yeah, my answer is I think so. I'm pretty sure. Do you use sarcasm a lot? Yes, I do. You've probably already heard me use sarcasm 17 times in this video. Yes, I do. What is the first thing you notice about people? Oh, interesting. Let me think about that. Honestly, okay, if you don't know, I'm 5'11". That's probably one of the questions on here, but it's fine. I'm going to answer it now. I'm 5'11". I'm tall as heck. My dad is 6'8", and my mom is 6'2". So the fact that I'm not taller is ridiculous. When I was born, they guessed that I was going to be about 6'5". Thank Lord I'm not, right? But that was their guess at first. I'm only 5'11". But I'm 5'11" and 3/4 or something. I'm extremely close to being 6 feet tall, but I am not. Technically, I am not. So I am 5'11". But because I am so tall, that is usually the first thing I notice in a person is their height. Especially when I was dating. That was one of because I am so weird in the sense that I guess it's kind of a normal thing, but I am very picky about it, and I wish that I wasn't this way, but I can't help it. I cannot date somebody shorter than me. Unless it was a girl. I'm bisexual, in case you didn't know that, so if I was dating a girl, I could date somebody shorter than me. I could be okay with that, but for some reason, if it's a guy, they have to be taller than me. Have to. I need to feel like a little dainty, thing. Because my whole life, I grew up being the tallest person in my class until, like, sophomore year of high school. Then the guys started growing. But until then, I was the tallest person in my class every single year. And so I was always used to being large. And so when it comes to a relationship, I like to feel small and dainty. So especially when I'm dating, the first thing that I notice about them is their height. And the first thing that the way that I dated was Tinder. And so the first thing I would ask them, how tall are you? Because I need to know if they're as tall as me. So if they're 5'11", that's fine. 5'11" or taller. If you're 5'10", I'm sorry, I can't. Like, it's really stupid. It's really stupid because that narrows my dating pool like crazy, but like, I can't help it. I can't. So I got really lucky with Perry. Perry is 6'5". I got very lucky with that because he was the one person that I forgot to ask how tall he was until like we were about to go on our first date. And I texted him and I went, oh my God, I completely forgot to ask, how tall are you? And he said 6'5". And I went, oh, thank the Lord. But guys like to lie about their height. And so I waited until we met in person. No, he is 6'5". Absolutely. 100%. Oh my God, I was so happy. And I continue every day to be so happy that I'm dating a tall man because, oh my God, it means I could wear heels at my wedding. It means all these wonderful things. Like, yes, I'm very excited, very happy about it. Very lucky that the man that I fell in love with is taller than me. Fuck yeah, right? So anyway, that's probably the first thing I notice about them. That and like their hair color, I think, is usually the first thing I notice. What is your eye color? My eyes are hazel. So they are brown and green. And there's like a ring of gold around my pupil. It's really cool, actually. I kind of like my eye color. I always wish that I had blue eyes, but I kind of like my eye color. I think it's cool. Because you can't tell unless you look closely, but there is gold in there. What's next? Scary movie or happy ending? Can I say both? Because it depends on my mood. That I do really like scary movies, but I have to be in the mood for it. And it has to be, like, in the middle of the day. That I can't just, like, watch a scary movie at 10 o'clock at night and then go to bed. Like, that is not, nope, I will have nightmares to the end of my days. But I, like, really enjoy a good, sappy, happy ending. Is that weird? I love chick flicks. So, like, I need a good happy ending. Favorite smells. So my favorite smells are either really warm and gooey scents, sort of like what we have going on here. This is with the trilogy. It's Sonoma Sunset, Pumpkin Butter, and Apple Crisp. Vanilla is one of my favorite scents, sugar cookie, anything like that. But then also like really florally fruity scents. Not even florally, fruity. Like watermelon and apple and grapefruit. Let me think. Yeah, just really fruity types of scents like that. Those are my boyfriend's favorite, is the fruity ones. He's not a big fan of the warm scents. I love a good warm scent, especially like in the fall time or when it's cold outside. Oh my God, yes. What is the furthest you've ever been from home? Mexico? Question mark? I think so. I've been to Mexico twice. Yeah, love Mexico. I need to scroll down. Do you have any special talents? Oh my God, do I have any special talents? I mean, I'm a good video editor. I'm very crafty. I'm very creative. I'm double jointed in my thumb, so I can do this. Does that count as a special talent? I can make my hand look like a creepy witch hand. Like, is that a talent? Because I can do that. I can make my tongue look like a W. Okay, here's a special talent that I have. I've never met anybody else who can do this. So if you guys want to chime down and let me know if you can do this in the comments down below, please let me know. I have always described myself as extremely sensitive, not only emotionally, but in terms of my like literal senses, like smell, taste, touch, all that fun stuff. I'm very sensitive. My hearing is very sensitive. My taste buds are very sensitive. A few other things. And my sense of touch is very sensitive. So I can, if I know somebody really well, like say it's my boyfriend or my mom or my sister or something like that I know very well, I can tell if you were to put them in a lineup. So say, let's use my boyfriend, for example. Say you took my boyfriend. Oh no, look, my Zox bracelet is starting to rip apart. Do you see that little floof? Oh no, I'm gonna need to cut that off. Say it's my boyfriend and you put him in a lineup of 5 or 6 other guys that have like very similar like structure, like structurally, that they feel like they have the same body type. And you blindfold me and you tell me to walk up to these guys and tell me which one is my boyfriend just by doing this. Just by taking my pointer finger and touching it to their arm. I can do that. I could pick out which one is my boyfriend because there is a certain sensation with each person, for me at least, that comes with the feeling of their skin. Not by feeling their body parts and being able to know, oh, this is, his arm has this certain, and so that's how I know. I can tell by the feeling of his skin, just with one finger. That's a special talent that I have. Because my sense of touch is so sensitive. And I could do that with my mom and my sister also. Maybe my dad, probably my dad. Anybody who's really close to me who I'm very familiar with the feeling of their skin. And every time I tell somebody that I can do that, they look at me like I'm crazy. And they go, how? I don't know. You're telling me you don't feel that? You're telling me you don't think that everybody's skin feels a certain way? And that you could identify that? Like it feels strong enough that you could identify it with your eyes closed? Because I totally can. So there's my special skill, is that I can identify people just from the touch of their skin. But I have to know them well enough. It has to be somebody that I'm really familiar with the feeling of their skin. Otherwise, it's just skin. Everybody's skin will feel different, but I won't be able to pinpoint. You know what I mean? You have to know them. But yeah, no, if my boyfriend was in a lineup, I could touch his arm with one finger and go, yep, that's him. Isn't that kind of cool? I think it's cool, but I have yet to meet somebody who can do that. So I would love if you guys would chime off in the comments and let me know if you can do that, because I'm the only one that I've ever met. Where were you born? I was born in Denton, Texas. That is my home place. That is where I was born. I lived there for like 2 years. I moved here to Colorado when I was 2 years old. So I don't remember living in Texas, but we went back to visit family every year. So I have been to Texas many times. Yeah, it's too hot for me. My whole family is very Southern, though. They were all born and raised in Texas, and so you've got Southern accents, and you've got the Southern traditions, and whatever. Not a very Southern way of thinking, but because we've lived here for so long, I think. But otherwise, like Southern cooking and Southern accents and just Southern, like, phrases. Like, my dad says y'all constantly, and there's all sorts of, like, Texas catchphrases that my family says all the time. And, yeah, very Southern. You wouldn't know it from talking to me, though, because I've lived here since I was 2. As far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty much a Colorado native. But, yeah, that's where I was born. I'm turning these all into, like, super long story times. What's your zodiac sign? Do you believe in it? I'm a Sagittarius. No, I don't believe in it. That I bet there is some sort of validity to it, but not in the way that a lot of people take it, that like they get really serious about the horoscopes and stuff. I've never been that kind of person. I don't really care. What are your hobbies? Oh, that's funny. Don't you guys know what my hobbies are? Yes, you do. My hobbies are making videos and video editing, diamond painting, and cross stitch. Done. Easy. Those are my hobbies. Done. Next question. Do you have any pets? Yes, I already talked about them. Moving on. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I do. So I have my adopted sister, who I talked about a little bit. She is 6 months older than me. Yes. We are very close in age, and therefore we are quite close. Yeah, and we have been our whole lives. I also have technically 3 step siblings. Because both of my parents remarried. They got divorced when I was 10, and they've both remarried. So, my dad remarried, and she has 2 kids, one of which is 6 months younger than me, and one of which is about 1.5 years or 2 years older than me. So we're all within 3 years of each other, all 4 of us, me and my sister, and then the 2 of them. It's a brother, so my stepbrother Michael, and then my stepsister Molly. So I have them, and then when my mom remarried, he has a son, but he's like 30. He has a kid. He was long since moved out of the house when our parents met. So I've never, like, lived with him like I did with my other step-siblings, but he is technically my stepbrother. So I technically have 2 stepbrothers and a stepsister, and then an actual sister. So lots. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a video editor. I want to edit either movies. Here's kind of, I'm open, but my list right now is kind of like movies, TV shows, movie trailers, or music videos. Those are sort of my things that I would really like to edit. Who was your first best friend? I'm pretty sure my first best friend, I don't know, I guess who I officially classify as my first best friend was Kenzie. We met in like 3rd grade, I think. Oh, no, actually my first best friend was Benny. My mother insists on the fact that I like had this huge crush on him. I disagree, but to me he was just my best friend. We met in like kindergarten or something ridiculous, and we were pretty attached at the hip for a few years until I moved away. Yeah, he was awesome. He came to my birthday party. He was my best friend, and my mom insisted that was like my first boyfriend. I was like, yeah, okay, Mom. I did actually, like 12 years later, I reached out to him, so we have talked since then, but yeah, that was my first best friend, was Benny. He was a good guy. Like I said, that was in kindergarten, I think. How tall are you? I'm 5'11". We already talked about that. Moving on. What is the least favorite thing about yourself? Oh, geez. My mental health. Yeah. I wish that I had a more stable mental health, and it has caused a lot of troubles in my life and a lot of insecurities and a lot of bullshit, and I wish it didn't exist. So I would have to say that is my least favorite part about myself. That I think I would still be a very interesting, I would still be very much me without my mental health problems. So they're just kind of annoying at that point. Funniest moment throughout school? I don't know. I'm going to skip that one. How many countries have you visited? Uno. I've been to Mexico. That's it. Hold on, I lost my spot. Okay, what was your favorite / worst subject in school? My favorite was always English, and my worst was always math. I'm so bad at math. I still count on my fingers like a 5-year-old. I still don't know my multiplication tables. Yeah, it's really hard. I still don't really know my left and right, but that doesn't have anything to do with math. I accredit that to having a learning disability. ADHD is a learning disability, so that's what I accredit it to, but it could just be because I suck at math, you know? And then I was always really good at reading and writing. I always read, like, I don't know, a few grade levels above. Like, I think in 4th grade, I was reading at, like, a 6th or 8th grade reading level. And I was always, as a kid, writing stories. I loved writing little short stories and little, like, fiction stories. I have a ton of them that I wrote as a kid. I don't really write anymore, but I used to all the time, to the point where when I was like 10, no, a little older than that, I was probably more like 13, 12 or 13, I begged my mom for Christmas. I wanted an old-fashioned typewriter, and she got me one. So there is a picture of me, like 10 years old, with a typewriter in my, with a typewriter in my lap, going chick, 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 chick. I was writing stories on my typewriter. Yeah, those are fun. I still have my typewriter. It's out there. It still works. I freaking love that thing. Yeah, I was very happy with that. So, but I was constantly having, like, when I would write stories, my teacher would read them to the class because she loved them so much, and, like, all sorts. Yeah, I was always really good at it. But I just kind of stopped. I don't know. I used to write, like, little Wattpad stories. Yeah, I really liked writing as a kid, so that was always my favorite subject. And I still like to read. I just don't read as much anymore. When I was a kid, I used to actually get made fun of for having multiple books on my desk at a time, because I would read like 4 or 5 books all at once, and I would just pick out whichever one I was in the mood for that day, like whatever genre I was in the mood for. And that way I had options, and I would get, like, horribly teased for it. And instead of, like, playing with the other kids at recess, I would sit under the tree and read my book. That's how I spent recess most of the time. And it was funny because my teacher apparently thought that this was very weird. I was in 4th or 5th grade. No, I was in, like, 5th grade at the time. No, maybe 6th grade? Maybe 6th grade. And I was sitting under the tree reading a book. My teacher apparently thought that this idea of me not really, I was bullied a lot in that grade, and he knew that. And so I guess he thought that me sitting under a tree reading a book was not the way I should be handling my life. And so he told one of the girls to come invite me to play with them. And so she did, which I was very surprised by. But the girl that he commissioned to come and ask me to play with them was, like, one of my biggest bullies. I remember her. Her name was Erin. And she was, like, a mean girl of the 6th grade. And so she came over and she said, "Do you want to come play soccer with us?" And I said, "No, thank you. I'm good with my book." Because A, I'm not all that sporty, nor do I give 2 shits about soccer. I would rather sit here and read my book. Also, you're a bitch. Get out of here. And so she said, "Okay." And she went off to go play soccer with her friends. And I read my book. And after she left, my teacher walked over to me. And he was like, "Why didn't you go play soccer with them?" And I was like, "Because I'm happy reading my book." And I was like, "Did you tell her to come do that?" Like, yes, he did. I found out later, yes, he did. He did tell her to go do that. I was like, "Boy, I'm reading. Get out of here." I did eventually make friends and stopped reading at recess in that grade. But yeah, for a long while before I had any friends, I would just sit and read, and I was perfectly happy with that. I would read during class. I would read at recess. Any free moment that I had, I was reading. And I still love to read. I just don't read as much because I'm busy diamond painting and cross stitching and crocheting and all those fun things. Where did that question stem from? Favorite and worst subject in school. Okay, that was quite the segue there. Oh geez, we're at an hour and a half. Okay, how many questions was that? That was 23 questions. We'll probably just stop there because this is an hour and a half. I need to stop talking your literal ear off. So I'm going to go. I didn't quite finish this section, but I'm so close. Look, you can kind of see the little fishy. Hopefully I'll be done with this in the next week or so, and I can move on to Chuck Benson. But anyway, it is now 10 a.m. I need to get working. Oops, sorry, I just hit the camera. So I'm going to let you guys go for the day. If you like this, I can continue these because there's more. I think there's more than 25. There's 50. Yeah, there's 50. So I can absolutely finish the tag if you want. If you like this. So just let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do that in next week's WIP Chat. I will also have a floss tube later this week. I actually have something to, I have stuff to show you and stuff to talk about. So this should be a more interesting floss tube than last week's was because I really didn't have much to show. But I definitely have stuff to show this week. So I'll probably film that on Wednesday and you guys will see it on Thursday, but don't hold me to anything. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. If you like this video and you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you know when I post new stuff on my channel, which is usually at least twice a week. Also give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and leave me a comment down below. Also make sure you go check out my campsite link if you're interested in my Etsy shop. I have that linked in my campsite link down below, along with all my other wish lists if you're curious on what kind of diamond paintings and cross stitches I'm interested in. All of that, and my Instagram if you're not following me over there. Those are all linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!